My name is Reverend John Martin, and I'm a church minister here in Stratford, and I bring my family here to watch the games, and we just enjoy being part of this community, and it's a privilege to be here this evening. Firstly, we need to recognise the tragic loss of a life that's been taken too soon, but a life that impacted everybody here and so many people in our region. You know, we live in a broken world, don't we? A world of tears and pain and death, and it's come close and it's impacted. It was never meant to be that way. As a Christian minister, I believe in a God that shines light into dark places, and through such a loss there is a light that shines as we remember a man who impacted so many lives, who brought fun and joy into those he played and lived alongside. As much as God's heart breaks with each person in this place this evening, I pray that we will experience a peace in surprising ways that goes beyond the explainable, and in practical ways as we support each other as the community that you are. This evening we're retiring Cody's shirt. This shirt is not Cody, but it represents a life, a man. Cody, who touched so many as he served and invested in all ages and all abilities through a sport that he loved. This shirt represents a selfless giving of time for the sake of others' enjoyment and development. That was Cody. It's a privilege to put on a shirt like this because it represents a willingness to live beyond ourselves and invest in a team and a community. That's a really rare thing. And that was Cody. It's a responsibility to put on a shirt like this because others look up to you. Young kids, like my son, aspire to be like you. That was Cody. No one else could have lived Cody's life. It was God's gift to him. And this evening we bless all that this shirt represents. And as this shirt is retired, my prayer is that we will symbolise and live with live on with all that it symbolises through this team, through the individuals that make up this club, and in the lives of the friends and family who knew Cody. That's how we can bless this shirt, to continue on all that he lived out as he represented what this shirt means. So may we all know the blessing of God who draws near to the brokenhearted, and may the peace of God surround all of you in the days, weeks, and months to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here, but it's a privilege to be here, but I'm afraid it's terrible circumstances. My name's Ian Holloway, an ex-football player and football manager who was in the game for 40 odd years, nearly 2,000 games as a manager. And I met Jed a few years ago, and he just blew my mind. Absolute crazy, enthusiastic person who wants to help young people who struggled sometimes and need a helping hand and need someone to believe in them. So when I realised that this wonderful young boy played for Jed, I rang him up and said, "What can I do?" He said, "Can you come up and help me get the boys going again?" I don't know if I can, because we've lost somebody and we'll never see him again. It's so brutal the way he went, going out for a night out and never coming back. I know what I first wanted to do was find the people who did it and get hold of them and sort it out myself, but that ain't no good. That ain't the way to remember him, is it? What I believe we will do today is he's immortal now. That number will never be worn again. We will never forget him. There's going to be a charity about his name, carrying his name, to try and help the people who were struggling, who did what they did to it, to help other people have better chance and better their lives in the future. Let me tell you, I've had some things in my life. My wife had cancer years ago when she was 21. Thought she was going to die. I said a prayer. And it was true. I wanted her to live whether she wanted to be with me or not, because she deserved to live. We've been married 24 years. We were told we couldn't have children because she had chemotherapy. We got 4 kids. Right? 3 of them were profoundly deaf. We had to learn sign language to help them communicate. But really, for me, I met my wife at school, and luckily got her back after she met someone else. He was good, King. He was 6 foot summer, right? But she came back to me in the end when cancer came calling. I want you to understand what life is about. When you have children that can't hear, you realise how important it is to communicate. So let me just try and put this in your minds, if I can. First, it's thought. We all have a thought. Then we think of changing that to words. And then we change that into actions. So let me ask you one question. Right? If Cody was here, what would he have thought right now if it was someone else? What would he have said to everybody else? And then what would he have done? Think about it. You are privileged to know him. I feel I know him because of that man there. I think I know what he'd have said. I think I know what he'd have done. He'd have never give in. He'd have always kept going. And we have that choice now. The event in your life, you're never in control of. None of us are. The only thing we control is our response to that event. And I want this loss to be a positive in the future. That's the best way I believe we can remember him and carry his name long into this future. He's been taken away from us, but they can't take away who he was and our memories of him and the love that we have for him. Can they? No, they can't. That is always there. Look at that smile. Look at him. Them cheeky dimples. He started a fight in his first game. Got sent off. 22-man brawl. That didn't put him on. His mum Tracy taught him how to cut hair. I'm sure he's good at it if he's done some of your barnets. What would he have done with that? Absolute no chance. But he'd have had a go, wouldn't he? All I'm saying, I lost a teammate when I was at Bristol Rovers. He went into hospital. 2 weeks later he was dead. We had no idea he was ill. You've got the shock to deal with of the way you lost him. But I had a choice. I wanted to make Mickey proud of me. And I wanted to help the boy who came in and played left wing like he did. Mark O'Connor became my best friend. What life is about is doing something positive when you get a negative. And if you can do that, if you can make someone else's day that little bit better than it was before they bumped into you, I'm sure Cody would be smiling at you right now. Take that with you. Take his positivity. Take his life that was oozing out of him that you all know. Take it with you in every single step that you make in your life. And then you have paid the pride that he deserves, I believe. Okay? And if you are struggling, talk to somebody. Get some help. It is not a weakness to ask for help. Check on your mates. Make sure they're there with you. Care for them. Because that's what he did for every single one of you. All I want to say now is I want to take my hat off to that young man. Because I know he's up there. And I know he'll be smiling at every single one of you. And he'll be wanting you to do what? Just remember that. Thank you very much.